Hey guys, Southern Comfort here. I'm up under that big old oak tree here. I mean, this thing is humongous. It's got to be at least 6 feet wide. And so I have a cedar log here that I dug up out of a brush pile back there in the backfield that I finally got down and got it all. It was probably, wow, that thing was probably at least a story high or so. So I got the cedar out, took it up here, and haven't had time to mess with it. And the bark is on there. It does have some insect damage. When you cut a cedar, the best thing to do is go ahead and take that, or any type of tree or logs, is to get that bark off of there. And I didn't even think about it. I just been super busy. So now we came out here to look at it, and I see the insect damage. There is some rottenness on here. So I'm taking my hatchet and I'm just cutting down to see how deep that rottenness is. And that's because of the bark. It could have been that this was because it might have been laying on the ground or you know, into the weather with the bark on there. And so up underneath, it seems pretty good. I'm not going to be, actually I pulled this out to use that as a fence post. But what I plan on doing is hopefully if it turns out good as I'm taking all this bark off, is use it for a grapevine. I want to extend that grapevine out and just make it so to be able to run. So I've gone through and I pretty much just like chopped this bark that's still left on there. I have another one over here that doesn't have it. With time, the bark is completely off. Onto the ends look good. Looking at the ends, it feels solid, except I've got some rottenness right here, and it could have been laying onto the ground. But up underneath, I'm trying to get that rottenness off. But up underneath, it seems pretty well. So that's what I've got to determine: can it hold for a while? So I'm just going through getting this bark off as much as possible. So I don't have a tool. I forgot the name of it. But you take the tool and you scrape it like that, right? And it gets the bark off. So I'm just taking a machete and doing the very same thing, because I don't see no sense in spending money onto a tool when this is working. Since it's been sitting a while, it's not hard to do. Now normally I have my gloves on, and there's a reason of that. It's because it's got a jagged edge. But you just want to get that bark off. And since the tree log seems pretty good, I'm going to try to salvage it and use it for that grapevine. I found out that if I take this, go ahead and break some of that bark up, then it makes it easier. Of course, you could take this and do it also. So we're probably going to be doing both of it, because around these knots here, then you know the easiest way is use this, I think. And so that's what we're going to be doing. But this was just a tree that got blown down, and I have several of them, so I'm not sure if they're going to be any good because the bark was never taken off. I got probably about 5. The hurricane blew down, and they were big cedars where this rottenness at. But I don't think it's, you know, it feels pretty solid. It's just the outer part. And the cedar bugs will get into it. But down here, so I get that off. I'm gonna go through and get as much rottenness off as possible. But down there it feels pretty solid. That feels solid. So I'm gonna knock off what is rotten. So we got all the bark off of it. Just a little bit more on there. Might go at it, but right now I'm gonna try to get the tractor and get it moved somewhere. So I pressure washed it to get all the dead wood off, and that gave me opportunity to look down at the wood and see how much rottenness is going into the cedar log here. So and I feel pretty good about it. Got rotten wood all over the place, but it looks pretty good. So I'm going to let it dry out a little bit. Try to get as much rottenness off. You know, there might be little pieces like that, but everything else looks pretty good. So, might see that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna use it. You know, you still probably get a little bit of pieces off of it, but the inside feels really good. And it's basically just on this one side right here. And it could have been laying on the ground. It could have been exposed to the elements. And the other part up under the brush pile. Because this did come out of a huge brush pile. All right, so we got another grapevine going here. So a trellis. And so the cedar looks pretty good. I think it'll probably last as long as probably I'm alive, and that'll work just fine with me. So the other pole down there on the other end, it looks super good. Didn't have to do anything to it. The bark came off. You can see where the insects got it at one time, but I didn't have to do anything except cut the top of it off. So the only thing I have to do now is this right here. The grapevine has already been trimmed. We're into September, and yeah, I went ahead and trimmed it. What I do is I'll cut a piece of it, the vine off. Then I'll look at it and see if it's bleeding, what we call here in the South bleeding. And actually there was no juice, no liquid coming out of the vine. So I just went all the way around it, That gives it a trim for this year, for next spring's growing. And so I'll be putting some wire up here so that the vines can start branching out, and look forward to a great harvest next year. See you on to the next video.